Welcome! Oh my goodness, I'm so glad to be here for the Sparkle and Fly Show with me, Rebecca Martin, and I'm so happy to see you all. I see you in my imagination. Today we're going to talk about sparkling and flying. So just for fun, can you look around the room and see if you have anything right where you are that sparkles? Because people love sparkles. I love sparkles. Sparkles are magical. Let me just check. Well, I know my skirt is sparkly. And oh, I have this sparkly thing, which let's see what's in there. Oh, well, that's for later. And also, oh, look, I have some sparkly gems. So if you don't have time to look for it right now, when we're done with our special story time, then you can find everything sparkly. But here's a secret. Shh, you are the sparkly thing. Your eyes sparkle, your heart sparkles, your smile sparkles. Oh, can everyone just send a smile? We'll smile to each other through the air and we'll feel it. I just felt a lot of smiles. That was wonderful. Thank you. And here's the other secret. You can fly in your imagination. That's where we're going to go. And in dreams, of course, I've had a lot of those wonderful flying dreams. And there's flying creatures everywhere, including sometimes fairies. The first story I want to tell you is called The Woman Who Fooled the Fairies. What? Can you do that? Oh, yes. However, I have a little warning for you all. After this story, sometime in the day, you might have a really strong desire, like really strong craving for cake. I don't know what kind. It could be carrot or chocolate, red velvet or carrot. I don't know, but it could happen. It could happen. Well, what a lot of people don't know about the fairies, which you might know, is that a fairy can live a whole day on one single crumb from one cake if you leave a cake out for them. But no fairy ever had one single crumb from Molly Malone, the baker woman's cakes. Why? Because they were so delicious. No one ever left a crumb. You know what good cake is like. It's like that. Now, the queen of the fairies, she had a bit of a sweet tooth. Sometimes she would wake up in the morning and the first thing she would say was, I want cake, 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 I want cake. Now, she was a queen, so she could get what she wanted. She dreamed of Molly's cakes. So she called all of her fairies together and they all flew over. Now, this is the part where we can actually fly. I feel like I can feel the wings. I can feel the wind from your wings. Oh, there's oh my goodness, butterflies. This is really magical. I declare this magical, and now we are the fairies flying over to Molly, to the queen, to talk to her about Molly. The queen said, me fairies, I've got to have a wee bit of Molly Malone's cakes. I just have to. Get it for me now. Okay, Your Majesty. So they all flew. They flew all the way. You can fly again if you would like. They flew all the way to Molly Malone's house. And they waited under the eaves, under the roof, and they listened until they heard something interesting. That's the word, eavesdropping. That's for later. Oh my goodness. They waited until they heard her say to her husband and her little new baby, oh, me darlings, I'll be home a wee bit late tonight. Don't worry. I'm going up to the castle for a great big party. Everyone's having parties these days. I'm going to bake my famous cake. So don't worry. They said. And so the next day she did indeed. Went up to the castle and she baked an 11-layer cake. I'm not kidding. 11 layers. And every layer was something different. Now, if you guys feel like it, you can write in the chat your favorite kind of cake. Because I have a feeling every kind of cake you love was in that cake. That's why it was so good. Did I mention red velvet cake? I love that one. Some people just love chocolate. Chocolate, 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 only chocolate. Some people like lemon. I don't know. I'd love to hear from you. So she baked that 11-layer cake. And guess what? Not even one crumb was left. Can you believe that? Not even one crumb. She was tired from all that baking and making. And so she took off her apron. She put it over her arm. And she started to just walk slowly home. What she didn't realize was that all around her were the fairies. Now, the fairies had gone invisible. Can you guys go invisible? Okay, that's a really special skill. You're going to want to have that. They still had sparkles, but you know, you can see sparkles other places, like on the water, there's sparkles. The sunshine on a leaf, well, there's sparkles everywhere. So they were still full of sparkles, but invisible. So they surrounded Molly, and they were all around her, and they started whispering. They were whispering to her like this. Molly, you're sleepy, you're sleepy, you're sleepy, you're sleepy, said Molly. I feel sleepy. Walk this way, walk this way, walk this way, walk this way. I think I'll walk this way. I usually go that way, but I'll be going this way today. Lay down here, lay down here, lay down here, lay down here. I think I'll lay down here. Strange, but I'm gonna do it. Take a nap, take a nap, take a nap. Do you ever have that voice in your head that tells you to take a nap? I do sometimes. Take a nap, take a nap, take a nap. I think I'll take a nap. So she put down her apron and she laid her head on the soft green grass right there, and she went to take a nap. But it was not a soft green grassy bed. It was a doorway into the fairy kingdom. And she started to fall down through the rocks and the mud and the vines and the roots, and she was falling and falling, and she screamed. Now you could scream a little scream wherever you are. It might be fun. Till she landed, on a cold, hard marble floor. Where am I? She looked around, and this is what she saw. Dragonflies knitting sweaters in the corner. Ladybugs tap dancing. A small frog singing. Her lost keys, and 2 socks that she hadn't seen in years. Maybe that's where the missing socks go. I'm just saying. She had come into the fairy kingdom. Well, before long, right there, in front of her face, was the queen of the fairies. This big with a long, thick purple cloak and a great big scepter about this big. And the queen said, Molly, I've got to have some of your cake. I can't live without it. I want cake, 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 I want cake. Now Molly knew a thing or two about the fairies. She knew if she said, yes, your majesty, I'll bake that for you right away, well, the queen of the fairies might like her cake so much that she would keep her there, and she would never again see her husband and her little baby. But if she said no, well, sometimes the fairies can get a little mad, and then she might be also kept there, besides having tricks played on her all the time and never be able to find a sock or keys or anything for that matter. So she thought just for a second. It's good to think before you say yes or no to something. Let's think with her for just a second. I know what to do, she thought. Your Majesty, I'm so honored to be here in the kingdom of the fairies. Oh, it's so beautiful, as are you. And I'm honored that you have asked me to bake this cake. I'd be happy to, but I'm looking around. I don't see anything like a bowl. As a matter of fact, all she saw was a little thimble about this big. I can't bake a cake in that. I do need my bowl. If you could just go to my house and get me a bowl, I'd be very happy to bake your cake. Said the queen of the fairies. Easily done, easily done. I'll be right back. But of course she didn't go because she said her fairies, go get the bowl. You guys want to fly again? Getting good at this, aren't we? Getting good at sparkling and flying. Flew all the way back to Molly's house. Went invisible, so no one could see them. Flew in the window. The husband and the little baby were right there. The fairies went into the cupboard, and they found a great big mixing bowl, and they picked it up, and they carried it out the window. So there was the husband, and you know what he saw? He saw a bowl go flying out the window. Then they said, let's get the spoon so she doesn't send us back. So then he was sitting there, and he sees a spoon go flying out the window. Then they said, let's get the ingredients too, so that she doesn't send us back. Now you guys know what goes into a cake, right? So there's the husband sitting there with the baby. Here comes 2 eggs flying out the window. Some flour, some chocolate, butter, milk, some other things, vanilla. They all went flying out the window. Now they're flying across the land to the place where Molly had fallen into the fairy kingdom, and they brought all the ingredients to her. And there she was, and so she took her bowl and her mixing spoon. She started to put all the ingredients in. It started to look so good and smell good. And the queen of the fairies even wanted a taste of the batter. Is anybody here like that too? And so she was just about to stir it all together. She held up her spoon and she said, "Sorry, Your Majesty, I can't do it," said the Queen of the Fairies. She said that. She said, "Why not? I want that cake." "Because, Your Majesty, you see, the only way I make my cake is that my dog, he starts snoring, and every time he snores, I do 2 turns of the batter. Otherwise, it'll be like just any other cake in the world. So if you don't mind just bringing me my dog." Easily done, easily done. Sent the fairies out across the land. Back to Molly's house they went, invisible. They went inside past the husband and the baby to the, woof, the dog. And then they picked up the dog. He saw the dog go flying out the window. And the dog said, "Ruff, woof, woof." And they said, "Let's get the cat, just in case." The cat went flying out the window. Huh? So they brought the dog and the cat back to Molly, and there she was, holding her wooden spoon, just about to stir. And they brought the dog, and she started to pet the dog. If you guys have a dog near you, you might want to pet that dog. Oh, doesn't it feel nice to pet something? Or a cat, for that matter, because the cat was there too. Yeah. And as soon as the dog started snoring, she started to stir. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And oh my goodness, the Queen of the Fairies was buzzing around like, "Oh, I can't wait, I can't wait." Molly held up the spoon and she said, "I can't do it." "Why not?" Ah. The Queen of the Fairies had a tantrum. A small tantrum, but a good one. Now, if I was there with you, I would say, "Can you show me your best tantrum? It can be small, fairy-sized, or big." So maybe you can work on that later. Okay, after the tantrum, she said, "Molly, why can't you do it?" "Oh, Your Majesty, here's the thing. I have a new baby, and I'm just so worried about my little baby. If you could just bring me my baby, I'll make it for you. It'll be the best thing you've ever had." "This is your last request," said the Queen of the Fairies. Sent her fairies back across the land. Flying, 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 back to Molly's house. They went invisible. They went inside to where the husband was sitting, the baby, and they picked up the baby. And the baby said, "What?" And the baby went flying out the window. And the husband went, "Huh?" But then he said, "Wait a minute, that's my baby. You can't just go taking my baby." So he jumps up and he starts running. If you can picture in your beautiful imaginations, well, there's the baby flying across the land. Dad running after saying, my baby, give me back my baby, my baby, my baby, give me back my baby." The fairies jumped in to that green hill and they took the baby into the fairy kingdom. Now the dad, being a good dad, jumped in after them, and he started to fall through the mud and the rocks and the vines and everything, and he also screamed a lot, like his wife, until he landed, on that cold, hard marble floor. Before he had time to look much at the fairy kingdom, there was his wife's face, right there. And she said, "Darling, I want you to give the dog a wee little pinch, not a big one, just a wee little pinch." Okay, so he reached over and he gave the dog just a little pinch, which made the dog go, "Woof!" Which made the cat, of course, go, "Meow!" Which, of course, made the baby go, "Wah! Wah! Wah!" So if you can imagine the dog going, "Woof, woof, 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 woof," the baby, "Wah!" and the cat, "Meow!" That's a lot of noise. Oh my goodness. And what a lot of people don't know about the fairies, but Molly knew, was that they have the most sensitive ears. Some of you guys might be like that too. Why, when one leaf would fall from a tree, it sounded like thunder, or like a little drop of rain, like a waterfall. So when the Queen of the Fairies heard this tremendous sound, she said, "Oh, Molly, 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 make it stop, make it stop, make it stop." Molly said, "If you just watch my baby, my dog, my cat, my husband, I'll bake the cake for you." "No, I'll never have any of your cake. I can't stand it." "Molly, just go, just go, just take the noise." As soon as the Queen of the Fairies said that, that meant Molly was free. So before the Queen of the Fairies had a chance to change her mind, she quickly picked up the dog, the cat, the baby, the cake batter, and her husband, and she began to run out of the fairy kingdom. But before she left, she said, "Your Majesty, the next time you want a wee bit of me cake, all you have to do is ask. You don't have to go take me. I'll bring it back to you tonight at midnight." Bye. And with that, she ran all the way back across the green hills to her house, kicked open the door, put down the dog, the cat, the cake batter, her baby, her husband, and she turned on the oven, put the cake into a pan, put it in the oven, and sat down to think about what had just happened. She took a few deep breaths. Let's take a deep breath together with her. And of course, right away, she started to smell the cake. Now you know how good cakes smell. Oh my goodness, it filled the whole house with delicious magic. The cake smells so good. I can't wait to have a wee little bit. Oh, Mom, I can't wait. Oh no, 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 she said. I've promised this to the fairy. But when it got to be close to midnight, she took that cake and she walked all to the place where they had taken her. And she set it right there by a tree and she waited. They didn't come. They didn't come. She waited and she waited and she waited. And she heard a sound behind her like an owl. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo, woo-hoo. You know the sound. Woo-hoo. And she turned around to see what that was. When she looked back, the cake was gone. In its place, there was a piece of fairy's gold, as beautiful as a bit of sunshine fallen down. Think something the most. The end. I told you might want cake later. Did anybody decide on what their favorite cake might be? Oh my goodness. Speaking of sparkling and cakes and friends, I have to introduce you to a friend of mine. Some of you might have met him if you've ever seen me come over to your library in person. Well, I don't know. Either Bjorn. Now's a good time. Oh dear. Sometimes he naps in the summer when it's warm. He basically naps all the time. Did you call to me? I did, Bjorn. I just wanted to introduce you to all of our friends here. Well, it's good to, well, I don't see them, but I know they're there. I can feel that they really want to give me blackberries. Oh, really, Bjorn? Is that what you feel? I do, because that's very important to me, is to have blackberries. How many did you have so far today? Because I did leave you some this morning before you took your second nap. 423. Wow, that's a lot. It's good you can count that high. Why didn't you have 424? Are you kidding me? That's way too many. Oh, Bjorn, what do you use sparkles in the world? Well, I see all the people. I mean, I do see them. I imagine they're so sparkly, and I see the rain on the blackberries. And if I have a lot of sprinkles, ice cream, blackberry ice cream, of course, I love to have that too. And I like to play, and I like to sing, and I like to dance, and I like to bake and to read things, and I like the summertime, and I like the library. Did I tell you that I went to 4 libraries when I was really, really awake? It was the best thing ever, and I saw the books, and I read the book. Okay, Bjorn, it's okay. I'm excited for you. I love you. Thank you for sharing about the books. What was your favorite one? Well, I have 7 favorite ones. I will start listing them now. Maybe we should do that later. I love you, though, and I love that you're reading. Do you know everybody here is reading, too? They're in the summer reading program. I like the summer reading program. I like summer because I could read and eat blackberries because there's a lot of them. Well, Bjorn, it was really good to see you. I'm going to let you go back to your nap. No, I want to stay and play. Well, we can play later. How about if we play later? Yeah, that's good. I have another. Of course you can, Bjorn. And we'll tell your story another day, okay? That sounds good. But right now I have to tell a story about, you know the one, right? Can't wait to hear it. It's about a little caterpillar. The caterpillar's name was Percival. Now, Percival, by the way, this will include a song. Me, get to sing. La, 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 la. Should we do that together? La, 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 la. Oh my goodness. I feel like I heard you. Is that possible? Anything's possible. La, 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 la. So this little caterpillar, he was hungry. Like he would just eat anything. He ate everything, anything, all the time. But sometimes he felt really sad because when he looked around at nature, he saw so many colors, and he just wished that he had more colors. He wanted to be more colorful. But when he was sad, he was hungry. And he would sing a little song while he was actually eating everything he could find. And it went like this. So these are going to be our caterpillar feet, okay? Now, you're never too big to have caterpillars, I'm just saying, you're right? But nobody's watching you, so you can have caterpillar feet. And you do caterpillar feet, and you sing the song that he sang, and it goes like this. Munch, 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 eating my lunch. Munch, 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 eating my lunch. Once more. Munch, 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 eating my lunch. And right across his path, there flew a beautiful blue dragonfly. Oh, said Percival, you're so beautiful, blue. He said, I wish I was blue. The dragon looked at him with all of those many, many eyes and said, yeah, the best, kid. Blue's like the ocean. Blue's like the sky. Blue's like major, right? Blue, blue, blue. Do you have anything on that's blue? Well, no, you don't. Because you're playing. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at you. I just got a lot to do. So I'm sorry you're sad, kid. Great talking to you. Gotta go. And flew off. And I think his wings look something like this. Oh my goodness. Dragonflies do smart. Yes, they do. Well, Percival was so sad. But more than he was sad, he was hungry. Ready? Munch, 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 eating my lunch. Munch, 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 eating my lunch. Once more. Munch, 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 eating my lunch. And right across his path came a ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. You know what that is, right? And he was green. And Percival was like, oh my goodness, green. I wish I was more green. Hey, said Frog. Green is great. Green's amazing. Green is, well, it's the grass, isn't it? And it's the leaves, too. And it's all, sometimes there's some flowers, too. And green, well, it's a happy color. And I'm so sorry you don't have enough green. And I'm sorry, too, that you're sad. No one should have to be sad alone. So I'm going to blow you a little kiss. But I just have to get going. I have flies to catch, and I have things to do. And the frog ribbited off. When he was sad, he was ready. Munch, 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 eating my lunch. Yum! Munch, 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 eating my lunch. Yum! Munch, 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 eating my lunch. Right across his path, there were two red ladybugs. Oh, red! I wish I was red. Why red? You're beautiful. You're beautiful. The ladybug stopped, of course, for the compliment. Thank you, love. It's a sweet thing to say. You've made my day. Saying something kind to someone can make someone's day. You just did that. You're so darling. I just wish I was red. Oh, of course, we love being red. There's so many red things. Oh my goodness. Did you know that, well, strawberries, of course, are very red. So are apples and raspberries. And I'm sure you guys can think of something that's red, too. Don't you think? I think you can. Red, red, red. Okay. Oh, darling, I'm sorry, but we really must be going. We'll come back and visit, but we must go have tea. Tea settles the soul, especially for a ladybug. Ta-ta! And they went away. Oh, he was sad. He was crying. Here's what I cried. He was sad, though. He was hungry. A munch, 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 eating my lunch. Munch, 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 eating my lunch. Last time, let me just hear you do it. That was beautiful. That was really nice. When suddenly he came to a field of flowers. Does anybody here love flowers? And this field of flowers had all the colors you can imagine. Orange poppies, purple lavender, bluebells, yellow daisies and white daisies, roses of all colors. And Percival was like this. As a matter of fact, the only word he could think of at that moment was, sometimes that's all you can say when everything is so beautiful. Right around the flowers was a sweet little bee. Excuse me. B? Hi, it's Percival. Look, hey, B, this is amazing. Can you tell me of all these colors that you see, that you have around you, what's your favorite? So the bee, wow, so the bee, that's a great question. I don't really know. Hang on, let me think for a little other minute. Oh, I know. I love all the colors. Said Percival. I love all the colors too. Oh my goodness. Oh, what a wonderful thing. I'm so tired. Oh, I can't keep my eyes open. I can't keep them open. Percival became so tired. He was so tired. Oh my goodness. And suddenly he couldn't keep his eyes open. You know that feeling, right? When you have really, you're just so tired. And so Percival, little caterpillar, wrapped himself up in a great, beautiful blanket. And when he was, he fell asleep. Sleep with him for a second. Sometimes if you have your parents read to you at night, or you did, very important. Because sometimes that's the thing that leads you in dreams. It might be about flying or sparkling. But for Percival, it was about all the colors. And so the voice in his dreams, which you guys could be that too, he kept hearing this as he slept. All the colors, 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 all the colors. Finally, ready to wake up. He opened his little blanket and he went to stretch his feet. But they weren't feet anymore. They had changed into wings. And when he looked at his new wings, you know what he saw? He saw all the colors he had ever dreamed of. He flew around the flowers. Just loved everything. The of that. Oh, that was so nice to share with you guys. And when you see a butterfly, you can think about that story. And they're made out of sunshine and stardust and beauty. Now, I did have that stuff I showed you before. I might just put that on everything. Because if I put it on before, you would have said, oh, it's going to be a story about a butterfly. But it was actually a story about a caterpillar. So now that I have my butterfly wings on, I feel like I really can fly. What else did I have in that sparkly bag? Well, I had these. Oh, it's fun to have stones, rocks, and sparkles all around you and count them before you go to sleep. Remember, it's a story right before you go to bed. Let's get to them too. Well, I have one other sparkly thing I did not show you. This is my sparkly silver flute. It could almost be like a magic wand if I felt like being the queen of the fairies. Which sometimes it's good to have things you can wear. Like if I want to be the queen of the fairies or a flute player, maybe a butterfly. It's good to have fun things, isn't it? Oh, if I was there with you, we might have some costumes and we could dress up. But maybe you guys could do that too. And again, never too old for that. So I'm going to play you a lullaby. It might have been something that Percival heard as he went to sleep, or that Molly played for her little baby when she got home and enjoyed that fairy's gold. You are the fairy's gold too. And precious things need to be enjoyed with the ones you love. And there's a lot of precious things. Like love, family, cake, story time, magic, music, sparkles, dreams, love. That's the most important. Sparkling. I hope you hear the song in your heart too. And if you're learning an instrument that you practice, because I started that when I was, I don't know, maybe close to your age. The other thing I want to wish for you is that you sign up for summer reading around May, and that you read as many books as you can, especially about what you love, and keep looking for what you love. And read about the fairies, or anything for that matter, because think about Ollie. She in the fairy kingdom, and if she hadn't read books, she might not have known what to do. So take in what you can, and then trust your heart and your mind to guide you. And of course, you can have help from friends, family, and fairies. Oh, I have a special invitation for you too. It's something to do later besides finding sparkles. If there's anything from this story that you saw really strong in your mind, or both stories, maybe from Bjorn, well, you know what? I would love for you guys to do a picture. Painting with all the colors, maybe some glitter so we get some sparkles in there. And it might be crayon, it might be pencil, you can cut something out, you could fold something, whatever you want to do. Think about that butterfly. Think about your butterfly. Because stories are full when you listen, because whatever you have in your imagination, it's different than everyone else's. So if you send your drawing to the library, oh my goodness, we would all be, we'd be like, oh, it's mine, and it would be from you. And maybe we can put it up somewhere and share it with each other so that we have something to talk about until next time we see each other. It's story time, which I'm so happy that we're doing story time today. Well, another friend in the process. Sometimes goodbyes take a long time. Is that my time to talk again? Because I didn't get to talk for a long time because I was busy reading the books that I got at the library, and in between I was eating blackberries. You were eating blackberries while reading. I know this busy time, first read a book, then eat a blackberry, or 7. Then I would read a book, eat a blackberry, or 14, read a book, eat a blackberry, or maybe even 21 blackberries. I actually count by 7s. It's my second favorite thing. I count by millions. Oh, Bjorn, I'm so glad you were here for story time. And I did promise him I would make him a blackberry cake. You did, and you said blackberry ice cream too. Really? I said, I don't remember saying that. You said it, and you said if I listened to the story about the fairies, that you would do that. And I said I liked it very much. Did you guys like it too? You said yes, and I think that's a good idea to listen to the stories and to become friends. Well, we're always friends. And I'm so happy that I got to meet new friends. So send your drawing to the library, keep reading, and keep believing in sparkles and flying. Remember, you are the sparkle, and there your smile. You're sharing magic. It's true. Someone smiles, it could change the whole day for someone or more. You have that magic inside of you, here and ever. Thank you for coming. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now, everybody. Imagine you waving. Bye for now. So lovely to be with you.